welcome to this very cool episode of Adulting. I'm your host, Emma Bjork, and this week we sat down with Amanda Cullin. She's a UPD officer here on campus, and she just recently took an emergency management position. Together, we'll be informing you on how to manage winter weather conditions and tips on how to stay prepared. Let's check it out. First things first, winter brings extreme conditions and dangers, including cold temperatures, freezing rain, and high winds, which can lead to accidents and loss of heat, power, and communication. These types of extreme conditions put all of us at risk.
Winter weather can bring several different dangers. Nothing, of course, that we're not prepared for, but just with ice, we had blizzard conditions here recently, so the wind chill is a factor that we consider, as well as, the ability to people to not only maneuver here on campus, but to get to campus. So surrounding areas are something that we think about for road conditions, wind chill, precipitation, those sort of things.
With these winter conditions can cause frostbite and hypothermia. Some of the signs include numbness, shivering, exhaustion, confusion, and more. Basically, limit your time outside and be careful while walking on ice. Here's Amanda with more.
First things first is you need to dress appropriately, and so having some shoes with some great traction, be sure and wear layers. And then, as you've seen probably with our social media, kind of walk like a penguin. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen those posts.
So, just make sure that you have a good steady base and you're walking with intention.
Like Amanda said, dress for the conditions. Next, we asked Mrs. Cullin how students can be prepared for the winter weather.
It's always important to have some provisions, maybe whether you live in the residence halls or live off campus, even if it's just some canned items or something of that sort, so that you don't have to run to the store when it's a blizzard, or you're not out of toilet paper and it's a blizzard's conditions. It's also important to know that on campus, we kind of assist with this, but your heat, your cooling, cooling of course is not an issue, but being able to have lights, water, that sort of thing. And those numbers, if something happens, who do you call? So if a pipe freezes up or something to that effect, who do you call? Knowing that you can always call into UPD, we're open 24/7, and we can assist you with whatever it is you need. Or we've moved students before back onto campus temporarily as needed. A thing also is vehicles. To prepare yourself the vehicles, especially if you're going to be driving to class, not just to scrape off that little peephole that you're looking through, to be sure and uncover all your windows. Give yourself plenty of time to warm up your vehicle so you don't have vehicle issues, as well as to drive slowly. Take your time as you're approaching, stopping, turning, that sort of thing. So, as well as, the clothing, you need to be prepared.
Be sure to have a plan. This includes checking your non-perishable food items, water, medical supplies, radio, batteries, flashlight, anything that will help you be prepared. Also, if you have to drive, be prepared by making an emergency car kit. This should include things like jumper cables, blankets, and a windshield scraper. Amanda wants you to check everything on your car, from the ignition to the defroster.
It's always a good idea to check your fluids and such before, your windshield wipers, before winter hits. So in the fall, be sure that you're prepared. Are your tires appropriate? You don't have to really have snow tires, but if they're bald, you're not going to be able to get around. Make sure your fluids are checked, your oil, your antifreeze, so that you don't have those issues right when you need them. If you are having car issues, it's a good idea to give somebody a call, and you can, like I said, you can always call us, but what's your contingency plan? What's your next step if something happens, if you slide off into a ditch? But your heater works, those sort of things. Make sure all that is working before.
With vehicles, cars can be your best friend or your worst enemy in the winter. Try to stay off the roads as much as possible, but if you do have to drive, make sure you travel safely and never alone. And if you're ever in a situation where you lose control, make sure you pump the brakes and drive defensively.
In your vehicle, it's always good, first thing is to take your foot off of the accelerator, right? If you can get your vehicle into neutral so it disengages, that always helps as well. Remain calm. First off, remain calm. Know what your surroundings are, especially in winter weather when it's slick. Know where your exits are off the roadway that are safe. But take your foot off the pedal, remain calm, and driving defensively. And so a big factor in that is that you give yourself enough time to get where you're going. Because we all do it where we've pushed ourselves and we might be a little late, knowing that it's better to be late than it is to put you in a situation where you could hurt yourself or others. So just take your foot off the accelerator, put it into neutral if that's something that's recommended for your vehicle too. You need to check into what is actually recommended for your vehicle.
Definitely.
Have those conversations and those with the people that you trust and what you know before the winter weather hits.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is practice. So just getting out there in a safe environment with somebody you trust and practicing driving on.
For sure. Driving in winter can be scary. You can lose control and get stuck or trapped. Don't worry though, there are solutions.
We're always available to try to jumpstart vehicles. We have jump packs that our officers have access to, and again, we're here 24/7. So that's something, if it doesn't start, if it's stuck and you can't get it to move, like whether it's a snowdrift or something of that sort, our officers will also help push it out. Knowing that, it's just based on the amount of human power that we have at the time.
Of course.
We may have to contact a tow truck if needed, but as long as you are in a safe place, whether it's in a parking lot, a tow truck may not be needed. We may just have to wait till the next day. Facility services also here on campus. During the day, they're here. During the week, and they can assist with that as well. Having things like kitty litter or salt in your vehicle can help. Having a shovel of some sort or something that you can use to move snow can also help. But again, we're here 24/7 to help out. If you get in a situation you have to be somewhere. We also do escorts, so we can escort people within city limits to help out as needed.
This concludes our interview with Amanda Cullin. She has all the answers you need to survive winter. If you want more information, you can contact UPD or download the Crisis Management app to look at all of their emergency plans. Be sure to use all these winter weather tips when you live in a place like Maryville. We'll see you next time. Bye!